Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you are watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, are my co-hosts from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D, and Double OT, Terrific Trav. How you fellas doing today?
Hey, we here. Watch the thumbs, D.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, hey man,
Watch the thumbs.
ready to rock.
Hey, we are always ready to rock, and we're celebrating International Women's Month here on the channel. And joining us today is somebody whose DMs I have been sliding in for a long time, and D just disappeared. And that is voice actress Amanda Celine Miller. You know how we do it up here. We got to say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Thank you. So I wanted to be Amanda Miller, but there was already an Amanda Miller in SAG, and the SAG Actors Union is like, you got to pick a different name. So now I feel pretentious because I'm stuck with the three names. I'm like,
oh, look, that's cool. You know, I mean, like, you know, we didn't had Evan Michael Lee. We didn't have Christopher Dontrell Piper.
But it just feels like you will spend time saying my name. Like, it just feels very much like I feel important. I'm like, no, I really don't. I just didn't, you know.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess you can kind of say it's like, you know, Michael B. Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that as opposed to like, yes, I am Amanda Celine Miller. You will say all three of my names. Thank you. I'm the opposite of Cher. I'm very high maintenance. Actually, she's probably pretty high maintenance too.
Probably.
Trav taking the bow, but
That's right.
yeah. So we're ready to go ahead and get into this. But before we start this interview, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, take it away.
As always, other episodes of the podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and thank you all for watching and listening.
So yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, before we start the interview, story time. All right, so my first con that I went to, well, actually my second con, it was NecoCon back in 2016. And Amanda, you were there, and you were at one of the panels with some of the other voice actresses from Sailor Moon. And I remember like that was my first panel ever going to. And I was just like, yo, she's really awesome. And I want to meet her. But it's just I was thinking, NecoCon, what did I say? Because I'm like, I don't remember that one. I hope I didn't say something stupid. No, you didn't. I was just like, man, she's just like me. Because it's like you were talking about you grew up watching Sailor Moon and, you know, watching Toonami and whatnot. And I was just like, man, I really want to meet her. And you walked past, and I think you went back to the room, and I didn't get a chance to meet you. And when we started the podcast in 2018, you know, I slid in the DMs, and I was just like, yo, it's like, we got to get her up here on the podcast. And, you know, sometimes you got to be patient. And, you know, she had responded to my comment on Instagram, and she was just like, yo, go to my website. Let's set something up. And that's my origin story on, you know, finally getting you up here on the podcast. You know, sometimes you got to be patient. And, you know, since 2016 to where you are now, it's just like you've leveled up and you've done so much awesome stuff. So just like us, because, you know, that was level up year one, and now we're at leveling up year 3, and we've come a long way. So we've all leveled up. So pinky's up to everybody right now.
A lot of leveling.
Huh?
Yeah, it is. That's that power leveling, Trav.
Right.
Hey, yeah, I love that, man. It's just like when you play a fighting game and you get the 3 level ups or the 3 bars. You know what I'm saying? But Amanda, I know Trav. Yeah, you don't really play fighting games ever since I beat you in Tekken. But so Amanda, something that we love to do up here is we ask everybody, what is your origin story? Tell everybody who you are. Every hero or villain has an origin story. So tell everybody who you are.
Like as a person or like my voiceover origin?
How did it start?
Yeah, how did it start? And then what led you get into voice acting?
Well, my parents met in college and they got, no, I'm just kidding. I was like going to tell you the birds and the bees. I mean, I was born in Germany. My dad was an Air Force guy, so I kind of grew up all over. So I'm not really from anywhere. I have a weird upbringing because not only did I move around a lot, but my mom is from France, or she's French and Swiss. So it's like I have this weird, like, kind of in between
smorgasbord
nature. Yeah. You know, I'm like, I'm multicultural and multi-ethnic and all these things. And I just am just this in-betweener. But I think it was like 8th grade. I did this school play. I didn't want to, but my friend was like, hey, you need to audition with me for this thing. Like, you know, just come as moral support. And I was like, okay. And so I did it, but she's the one who wanted to do it. I did not. And but then I got in and she didn't. And so she's like, you better do the show in my honor. So I was like, oh, okay. So it was kind
That's
of
serious, real quick.
It was really fun though, because it was like, well, because they were being cheap. You know, I didn't know this at the time, but they didn't want to have to pay for royalties to do like Annie or something like that. So they basically made the kids write our own show. So put us to work. So they had like half the stage, like it was split in half. So half of it was a bunch of students in a classroom and their teacher left the classroom. So they're like, ooh, what are we going to watch on TV? And so the other half of the stage was what they were watching on TV. And I think the show was called like Channel Surfing or something. And I was on the TV half. And so we wrote a bunch of sketches. And I wrote one where I was like, or I don't know if I was, or I wrote one where it's like Martha Stewart, you know, making like you know, Mother's Day stuff out of like, you know, toenail clippings and like, you know, dryer lint and like, you know, like when you're broke. And then I did one that was like, the big popular one I did was like, I played the Crocodile Hunter, and he was, you know, back in the day when he was still around.
He was the guy.
He was the dude. And like, and so I played the Crocodile Hunter, and I was at like Petco at the mall, and I was bothering all the animals, and like the security guards had to like escort me out. And it's funny because I, you know, moving around so much, I had a hard time making friends, and I moved like between 7th and 8th grade. So that was like, I didn't really have a lot of friends in 8th grade. And then that was the end of the school year. And everybody came up to me afterwards. They're like, you are so cool. You're so funny. And I was like, oh, this whole time I thought I was just weird and awkward. It turns out that was actually being funny. I wish I had known that was like a superpower to make friends. So yeah, then I like fell in love with acting. I was an actor in high school. I did all the plays. I was that person, that theater kid who did all the musicals and everything like that. And then in college, I was a theater major, blah, 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 blah. Tony Oliver is a voice actor, and he teaches this class called Adventures in Voice Acting. And it used to be like this traveling caravan. Like he would kind of teach it whenever there was conventions that he was going to be at. So I think he came to like Otakon or Katsucon or something. And I lived in DC at the time, or Maryland technically. And so he offered his first class, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really fun. Like it was like anime and video game dubbing and all that. And I was like, oh wow, like, because I've been thinking I was going to go to New York and be on Broadway. And I'm like, this is what a real actor does. And so like I did that, and I was like, oh, this is actually really fun. And then after college, I decided to go out to LA to be like, all right, let me pursue this stuff. I don't know why I'm grabbing like my neck fat. I'm just, it's like a weird like.
hey, I do the same thing with my beard. You know what I'm saying?
So this is like,
yes.
yeah, maybe this is like my beard envy. I'm like, I wish I could grow one.
Yes.
I feel like a turkey a little bit. Did I say that? I don't know. I have a
Gobble.
short
Gobble.
like, attention span. Gobble. Yeah, and then basically I moved to LA. I was an intern at a voiceover studio. But they knew I was an actor, and I was like, hey, can you like throw me a bone here and there? So, you know, between like getting people coffee and emptying trash cans and stuff, where the engineers sometimes would spit in them. So sometimes you'd be like, oh, fun, this is on my arm now.
That's wild.
But yeah, they'd throw me in the booth to like do background stuff, which we call Walla, because Walla is like, you know, I heard there's multiple origin stories. It's kind of like the Joker and his scar. Like, how did this get this name? But it was like, they said back in the day they used to say walla 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 walla, and they layer it, and that's how they made background chatter and stuff. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds believable. So that's why they call them Walla sessions, which is, you know, you go in and sometimes it's like you and like a couple other people, and you guys are just improvising, and you're playing all the people in a scene and just kind of matching to picture, being like, okay, I'm gonna be that girl, I'm gonna be that girl, I'm gonna be that girl. Or sometimes you don't see them and you're just talking to each other in the hallway. But sometimes you're in the room by yourself and you look crazy because you're just talking to yourself and having a one-sided conversation. And so you're just like, yeah, oh my gosh, that test was really hard. Seriously. Oh my gosh, you're so right.
Has anybody ever gone crazy doing it?
I mean, I personally think most actors are already crazy.
Absolutely.
So, you know,
adds
like,
flavor. You're right.
There's nothing sane about this profession. Like, it's kind of like this weird, I mean, it's going to be a dramatic word, but kind of an abusive relationship where like you're constantly like, love me, and the industry's like, no, and you're like, please let me in, and you audition and you audition and you audition and you audition just for that little bit of intermittent validation. So like 1 out of every 100 auditions, you're going to book it, and you're like, I'm on cloud 9, I'm going to keep doing this, and people are like, what? Why do you keep doing this to yourself? So I personally think most actors, we have this like we either have some sort of like crazy going on, or mommy didn't love us enough or something. So now we're like, I want to be seen and validated, even if it means like I'm broken pillar. But yeah. So anyway, that's my
I loved it.
That's my thesis on actors, because I'm just like, there's something.
I just imagine somebody waking up in the morning and having like a 2-sided conversation about what to have for breakfast.
Oh, I do that all the time. I'll pretend I'm on podcast episodes. Like sometimes I'll just talk to myself, and I've done it for, I think the longest was like 2.5 hours. Like I like look in the mirror and I pretend like I'm on some big podcast. I'm just like, oh, yeah, I know. And they're just asking all these questions about my life, and I'm philosophizing. About like, the state of the world is just, I really feel like people, just like, because nobody in my real life wants to hear my opinion. So I'm just telling it to my fake podcast host.
I feel like we all do that though.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I think it's kind of like
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I talk to myself all the time.
Like, I feel like it's kind of like shadow boxing for actors and actresses. It's their version. It's like in fighting, where you just kind of imagine what you're doing, and you see those people kind of
practicing it out.
Correct.
Yeah, because I wanted to piggyback.
That's y'all's equivalent.
Wanted to piggyback off of that because it's like I recently started taking some voice acting classes, and it's like sometimes it's like I've always talked to myself. Well, hold on, what was that?
Nothing. I was talking to Trav. Keep going. Right. I love that smile too. Where's that smile at now, big man? Go ahead. No,
but I feel like it's good to talk to yourself when because you're practicing, especially if you're doing different voices and whatnot. And a lot of times, like I'm always watching My Hero Academia. It's like one of my favorite animes right now. And then sometimes I'll even be at the gym. Like I was at the gym earlier on the elliptical, just reciting Deku and Overhaul's lines against each other. And I was like, I don't care who sees me. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to think that I'm crazy because I'm talking about? I mean, they probably do think I'm crazy.
You think I'm crazy?
I'll show you crazy.
I was going to say, over here looking like Travis Fickle and Taxi Driver, just talking to me.
Talking to me.
Talking to me. It does get wild sometimes. I mean, especially when, people, they always say hey or something. I'm always thinking that somebody's talking to me because I run the gym. Like from what I've been told, everybody loves to come and talk to me up in there. But man, that was an awesome origin story. Thank you so much for telling that. I don't know if we kind of snowballed, so I don't know if there was any more to it.
No, my brain is always like pew 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 pew. So
same here.
Yeah,
just you're on the right podcast then.
And we stay snowball.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Every once in a while I'll be like, oh yeah, where did that start? And I'll go all the way back. But for the most part, it's like branching off of tangent, and then we end up somewhere where I'm talking about, mortality is really something that doesn't have to be depressing. Like it's like right. I get to like really deep.
I definitely want to piggyback though, because you just breezed past Tony Oliver. You know what I mean? And like we're talking about an absolute legend and Tony Oliver. So like. This is kind of like your mentor, teacher, somebody.
Yeah, he actually kind of became my mentor when I first came to LA. Like he remembered me from classes, and he really went to bat for me on stuff. Where he's like, "Oh, she's really good." Like I had a couple people in the beginning that really helped me with stuff, and like one of them was a casting director I worked with on a video game. I worked with him on I think it was called Planet Side or something, and then he remembered me for a project he was doing outside of that studio. And brought me in, and it was like my first union game, and I booked it myself without an agent. And I was in the game with I think it was one of the Wipeout games, the ABC show.
I remember that.
I was in there with I think it was Fred Tatasciore, Steve Bloom, Laura Bailey. He's like, wow. You're in this, you booked this game with a bunch of really good people. Why don't you have an agent? I'm like, I don't know. They won't respond to me. Kind of like how I never check my DMs. I mean, the thing is, you get enough weird ones, you're just like, I don't think anything is going to be in here.
No, what? Nobody ever slides in my DMs, so I wouldn't even know what it's like to even get weird ones. Mine is always promotions. Hey, we see you're killing it on Instagram.
I slide in your DMs all the time.
You don't count. You're like family. You don't count.
Damn, that's messed up.
Man, Mom texting me again.
Yeah, like my brother calls me all the time. What?
I feel so bad. I have friends who'll message me on Instagram, and I'll think it's something important. Like I'll be like, "Ooh, notification! Did somebody like something or whatever?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just a video from."
It's just Tony.
It's just Banks. Yeah. Right? What is he messaging me now?
Like, ugh, gross. And it's
exactly.
You do kind of have to feel it out too, because sometimes people when you respond, and they go, oh, okay, and then they keep responding. You're like, oh, I don't respond like this to my friends. Like I'm curious about when it comes to texting. I'm like, where are we meeting? What time? Awesome. See you there. Maybe I'll send you a meme here and there. But like I don't like talking. My
go-to to end the conversation is I like their response and don't respond. That's my go-to to end the conversation.
Right. And it's like, you say, I saw it. Great. I liked it.
Exactly.
But I don't need to keep
there's
going.
nothing else to say.
Yes,
I said it
already.
Exactly.
Hey, because it gets to that point where it's just like I just want to respond to you and just keep it moving. Like I'm not trying to have a full-blown conversation, especially if you're busy or if you're at work. And Amanda, like you said, it's just like sometimes you get some weird ones in the DMs, and it's just like I don't know if I should open that up or not. And I was gonna go here, but Trav and D, I know that they're gonna get mad because with me being
I don't get mad first off.
Yeah, with me being a professional wrestler, I get some weird DMs, and
I'll vouch for that. There's some weird ones,
and I'll post them. Like, okay, so one guy has slid in my DMs, and he asked me to put on some underwear, and he wanted me to pull them all the way forward and then let it slap back. And I was just like, who messages somebody that? Like,
was that like something that was like his thing? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
Joker.
Some of these guys, like they have weird requests, because it's like, when fans message you and whatnot, you always want to, talk to them, thank you for being a fan and all that stuff. But it's like some of them will go over. Like one guy, he wanted a picture of me and my tag partner, and then he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna hang it up on the ceiling. And I'm just like where's this going?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but one time Banks got one, and he was asking him for personal private wrestling lessons.
Yeah, he wanted me to come to his house and show. I'm just like,
right.
He's like, it'll be a candlelit coaching session.
This is a Lifetime movie right here.
This is a Lifetime.
Where's the ring? What's this line for?
Right, exactly.
It's a Netflix movie.
And we can't wrestle with all these candles on.
Yeah, table set for two. What's going on?
Yeah, candlelight dinner.
Can I move these pillows and blankets? Like what?
Gonna wrestle on the heart-shaped rose petal outline.
It's crazy because I'll post these DMs on Facebook and whatnot, and then the girls they'll comment, they'll be like, "Oh, you should have did it," and you should have been yeah, send me all this money. And because I know some of the women wrestlers, they'll say that guys will be like, yeah, send me pictures of your feet, and they'll be like $300, and then the guys will send them $300. So I'm just like, hey.
I thought about that like a while ago. I'm like, you know what? It's just my feet. I don't care. It'd be funny to be like, you know what? You know how I paid for this house?
Feet these money makers.
Do you remember? I mean, I don't know if it's remember. I think it's still going on. There's that girl who's I think she made $200,000 selling her own
the fart girl.
Yeah, Stephanie Matenko or whatever from 90 Day Fiance.
So you know this because you're a subscriber.
I'm a subscriber to the fart. No, she was on 90 Day Fiance.
Okay.
Trav was subscribed. Send the farts my way, baby.
It was different months. You're like, you can really
go ahead and brighten up my day.
You can keep the fart jars. I'm not discriminating.
Flavor scented farts.
It's not for me.
I do wonder though, is there somebody an authenticator to make sure that she's the one who farted in the jar? Sometimes when we're signing,
there's a tester. Yeah, there's definitely a tester.
There's somebody who signs a certificate of authentication or whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
She did have to quit selling her farts because her diet wrecked her digestive system, so she had to stop selling farts because she was so jacked up.
So she put herself out of business.
Yeah,
was she doing a specific diet to increase her fart production?
Yes, to increase her gas.
Yes, the same way you work out to raise your power level.
Right. Yeah, she went Super Saiyan fart wise, and she blew it.
And you know what? We're
Trav,
but if anybody would buy our farts, I really feel like any one of us would sell them. Let's just be real about it.
The one girl was selling her bath water, and guys were buying it, man. I mean, people buy some crazy stuff on the internet, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Amanda, to get back to voice actors,
let's get back over there.
And we talking about selling toenails
selling
and feet.
farts and feet pics.
Hey, if Peggy Hill could sell pictures of
Peggy
her
Hill, that's right.
on King of the Hill, and
selling, waffles that came out the toaster looking like Jesus.
Yeah,
for $100,000.
She was making money. Meg was selling feet pics too. But Amanda, so like you were talking about your, first video game role and whatnot. Like, what was your first anime role, and like, what was the difference from doing video games to switching over to animation?
Yeah, actually, my first video game was Fire Emblem Awakening.
Woo,
But
woo, woo.
my first anime. Yeah, how rude!
Great game.
We just went from talking about farts in a jar, but now I'm clutching my pearls.
It's part of the royal family.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
Squirrel!
Boop. Yeah, no, I got. I don't know if it's fully true or not. I don't know. I feel like everybody has it, so it's like maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Like I got diagnosed with ADHD this year, and like some of my friends were like, "Yeah, no, duh." Like, anyway,
I can't do cool noises like that, so.
That's the extent.
Not
of it.
you.
Yeah.
First,
Cardi B be going around making all those weird, cool noises, and I'm like, man, I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could make peacock noises.
I wonder, like, if she had like a brand meeting. Like, I wonder if it was just like this organic thing. Like, I'm imagining like a whole team of like producers, like sitting, like people in suits sitting around, being like, she's just trying out different noises and just being like,
that's the one.
That's the one. Yeah. Hey, think about Birdman. Birdman.
Yeah, just, like, all the different bird sounds, and she's like, screeching like a, I don't know, like ah. And they're like, no, that's not. No, we don't. That's not a good one.
He's over here doing Jurassic Park voiceover.
Yeah, just like.
I mean, she should get into voice acting. I mean,
he should, like the whatchamacallit,
Alan Turd
and D. Bradley Baker. Like, you got these guys who are really good at doing creature noises. I feel like I'm telling Cardi B she's a creature, but like if you're good at that stuff,
absolutely.
Actually, like there's tons of money in it, because it's like, I always tell people, find your niche and like get in that way, because like we're a dime a dozen, but if you say, hey, I can speak Swahili, or I can do this weird sound, like build up a skill that makes you unique, and that's a great way to get in. Because if you're just like, I'm good, it's like, well, if you're in LA,
but can you make raptor noises?
Yeah, that's what we care about.
Yep, exactly.
Because like in LA, it's like every day there's like 100 new people moving to do what you do, and they're younger and hotter and whatever, and just as talented as you are. So like, okay, what else do you have aside from just being good and wanting it? Raptor noises.
Raptor noises.
I don't think I can. I like sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. It's like, no, not really, not today. Sometimes I'll just do it around the house, but when I do it at home,
pretty scary though. I like that one.
I'm sure that would not be like a fun noise to hear in the middle of the night, at the foot of your bed.
That's why I reach for my katana, and then I gotta go to work.
Yeah, D son, he has all the Nerf guns ready to go. So
run outside like Tanjiro, boy.
I used to buy katanas at the Amish farmers market back in Maryland.
The Amish farmers market.
They turn those things out.
I don't know why. I don't know why they make them, or if they just buy them and resell them. Like it's a thing. In Maryland, at least it was.
This Amish family is secretly like
they're demon slayers. I don't know.
Hey, what part of Maryland?
I lived in it's like really rural county. It's called Calvert County.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
So it's like there's like North Maryland, which is like Baltimore and Annapolis, and then there's like Calvert County, where like you got stuck on the way to school. Like I was late. I mean, I was already late, but then I got later because I got stuck behind a tractor.
Hey, no, that's like that.
Roads.
Like my family, they lived in the country part, and like you would see like the Amish carts and stuff like that, and tractors, and you just get stuck. So
he said the Amish parts and his two examples were Amish parts and tractors.
I know. I said carts. I said the car. I mean, because you would see the horse. Like when I was a kid, I thought that was cool because you don't see that in. We stay in Virginia and like the areas that we
see that in Norfolk.
I don't know about Trav because Trav stay out there in the woods.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, Trav sees
out there in
stuff.
Hickory, bro. It's bad.
Yeah, you live in the woods with your katanas, just like the Amish.
I knew. My grandma always told me, don't ever mess with an Amish man's family.
You shouldn't.
I don't know. What are you going to pull out that beard?
I mean, yeah, Katana, apparently.
That's right.
Well,
I'm
also,
gonna lay in bed thinking about that later. Like, dang.
There's a show, right? Like Amish Mafia or something. Like, aren't they?
Yeah,
dangerous. Or
Hebrew
not?
Yeah.
Weird Al up there?
Yeah.
Nah, Weird Al ain't up there.
I mean, he had the Amish Paradise, man. I mean,
That's a great song too.
It
man.
is a great
He's underrated. Well, I guess he's not underrated. People
That's
just
Weird Al.
And Coolio came for him.
I
though.
feel like he stopped making stuff, but when he was making stuff, he was
he was good.
I think the last one was the White and Nerdy.
He was
You're white and nerdy. Well, do you think it's because like when music started evolving and changing over the years, he was just like, none of these songs really fit my taste compared to like the artists of the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah,
I gotta say, this is amazing. I love having all these special guests on to talk about Weird Al and all this weird. I love these adventures.
See, Amanda, that's what we do up here. Like, we're not your typical podcast. Like, of course, we're
actually not going to talk about you at all.
Yeah,
we're talking about farts, feet, Weird Al.
What's your mom's name?
What's your
social security number?
Yeah,
Jesus.
And then Michael's in the background just getting it all, saying, "I can't." Wait
yeah, exactly.
I think the Weird Al thing though probably does make sense. I think music's not as like catchy as it was. Like now.
Hell no.
Back then, you knew what song he was parodying. You'd hear that. You're like, oh, I know it's Michael, or oh, I know it's Madonna or whatever. And now you're like, yeah, something.
It seems like people pump out music anyway now. Yeah. It's not like it used to be, as far as I'm concerned.
Music,
like
movies, all of it.
Correct.
Everything's creative.
Get off of our yard, damn it. It's not what it used to be.
It was better when we were kids. When you had VHS tapes and you had...
Back when I was on Fire Emblem, damn it.
Yes. Back in the day.
That B-side. It's all about that B-side.
But no, I do want to hear about this Fire Emblem story.
Yeah. See, we snowball. Hey, it's been a lot of snowballs this episode, man. It's like
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I don't have a story. I booked it.
Well,
first thing I did.
I was gonna say my oldest daughter Zoe is a absolute fan of yours because she loves Danganronpa.
Oh, cool.
Plays all the games, seen all the animes, and she loves your character and Danganronpa 3.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
When I let her know, Zoe was jealous. It's past her bedtime, unfortunately. She can't be here.
Yeah, give her a birthday shout out, man.
Hey, Zoe, I know you're not there, but you're there, but not here in this room.
You're here in spirit.
She can hear you.
She's right there behind you, Trav.
Get the bed.
Hey, no, real talk though. If we were still going over to Trav's house to record, they would be at the door right now.
They be sliding the notes.
Oh yeah,
over to the door. Can we come in now?
Yeah, can we get some ice cream?
I'm like, damn, what is it? Signs?
Oh, yeah. Water everywhere.
What is that?
Danganronpa was such a fun experience because it was like 20. Was it 20? It was a while ago. Was it
2017, somewhere in
2012.
Well, that's the thing is we did the game like I think like
2015's the game.
Yeah, and then. So the anime is somebody else. So the anime is Jamie.
Yeah.
I always have to clarify that cons because people come up like, "Oh, I'm so excited to see you." I'm like, just before you get excited, just make sure I'm the right one because I don't want you to be excited and then be like, "Do the voice," and they're like, "That's not the voice." And I'm like,
"Do the roar."
I ruined your day. But yeah, that was really cool because it came out for the Vita, and I don't think anybody had a PS Vita back then. So it's kind of like this like small little cult game, and then each year. A bigger and bigger fandom because it comes out for more and more platforms. So that's been really fun to see that it's kind of like this residual effect of like.
Yeah, they got like the whole edition on Switch now, so you can get all 3 games on there. And there's so many YouTube videos where people will like just piece the gameplay together, so you can like watch it like a movie. And it's like 40 hours of content, and you just watch the gameplay as a movie and. That's what kids are into. They want to watch people do stuff instead of doing it themselves.
I never necessarily. Well, no, I used to do that because I would want to watch the games I was in. But the most up-to-date console I have an Xbox 360 and I have a Sega Genesis. So my stuff's out of date.
Hey, so you're right there with the times.
Yeah, Sega does with Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm back there with like my Weird Al and all my other stuff. I'm just stuck in the 90s.
Keeping it in the 90s. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing the matter with that.
Ain't nothing going to top that, 32-bit system, damn it.
The big tube TV.
I found a gaming store. I'm here in Georgia, and they have it's like old retro, like 80s and 90s like toys, but then in the back room they have like video games, and so they had I just bought Shaq Fu for Sega, and I was
that's amazing.
I still have that game.
Is that his grandma's?
No. It's not here in the room. It's downstairs. But I remember when I was a kid and I saw that game and I was like, "Oh snap! It's Shaq!" But it was a horrible game. It was a horrible game. I was a huge Shaq fan. I mean, like he was at the Dam. He was Steel.
Do you have a basement?
Yeah.
No. No, he does not. He has a little like garage step-in thing.
Yeah, it's a garage.
Filled with water bugs, so be careful.
Yeah, he'll go in there.
But hey, look, that's where all the old stuff, like the Sega.
I'll never see that Shaq Fu game again.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
bro, hey, hold on. One time he went in there to go grab the TV, and he went, "Hey man, just watch my back. Make sure there's no water bugs."
Yeah, I mean, because
they were interviewing that time. There was one in the corner, and you kept looking down.
Yo, I was literally just telling somebody that story. Like I was hanging out with somebody on Monday, and like she asked me, "Well, what is one of your biggest fears?" And I'm just like, "Water bugs," because it's like they're always trying to kill me. And we were interviewing Aaron Phillips, and I had asked him a question, and the water bug was sitting there crawling on the wall, and it was like this big, and
it was not that big.
It was that big.
I have to look this up now. I don't know.
I was gonna say Amanda probably don't even know what a water bug is because they're not dangerous at all.
I was gonna say,
you don't get them as often.
They fly
in certain places.
They fly the sky. No, you don't get it. They fly.
That's like cockroaches down in Georgia. Like, is it a palmetto bug or something? There's a type of cockroach that flies. So
they have those in Bermuda.
And they can go inside your body and take it over.
This guy,
like
end up in the
Men in Black.
And Men in Black, yes.
Banks, you should watch a movie called They Nest. I'm sure you love that movie.
I've seen some. I'm not trying to watch no movie about no roaches. I just watched Mimic for the first time after Trav did his letterbox thing,
and it sucked, didn't it?
I didn't know. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
You know he don't like bugs. Them bad boys is big in that movie. You know that.
It looked like Spawn though. Didn't he look like Spawn?
Yeah. I actually really like the mask thing they do. It's really creepy.
But you know, Amanda, I wanted to piggyback off of something that you had said.
Off of the water bugs.
No, not because of the water bugs. But when we were talking about the game and how you have to tell people, it's just like there's a difference between me on the game and then, you know, the woman who voices her in the anime. And like, I remember at NecoCon, that was something that you had to say about, you know, voicing Sailor Jupiter, because when we were coming up, you know, we had the deep
young
version,
sprouts,
you know what I'm saying?
Young water bugs in the making.
And so I know that you redubbed the 90s one when, you know, all of the newer episodes were coming out and whatnot. So I want to kind of go to Sailor Moon now. So how was it, you know, landing that role as Sailor Jupiter? Was she one of your favorite characters on the show, or did you have another one?
Yeah, no, she actually was, because I grew up watching the Deke dub back in the 90s. Again, we're back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Best place to be.
Yeah, best decade. Well, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not for everybody. It was pretty cool for me. But the I'm sorry, I'm making out. My brain's like, don't make that joke. Don't make that joke.
No, say it.
Don't say butthole.
Say it.
Don't you say it.
Attack the heart, Parker.
No, I was gonna make a Rodney King joke. I was like, maybe not the greatest.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Don King would have came after us, man. Thank God you didn't say it.
Thank God I didn't say it. Yes, I just no, I have a very dark sense of humor.
No, that's cool.
But
it's okay.
Don't give me permission. You don't want to see what will come out of here.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It's water.
And he was like,
disclaimer, it's water bugs.
First he's like, oh, that's like a thing. And then the water bugs just come out and attack him. This is beyond PG at this point. No, PG-13.
She's my little water bug though.
Oh God.
It's like the movie Teeth, but worse.
Oh, I love that movie. It's so wild.
Yeah.
What were you asking?
We were talking about Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Moon.
Yes. Okay. And I was like 90s. Pew. So Yeah, I watched the Deke dub back in the day, and me and my friends and 4th or 5th grade were running around in the backyard being like Jupiter power, and so I was Sailor Jupiter in our group because I was also the girl who moved around a lot, so I was always the new girl at school. I was also the tallest girl in my class. I played soccer and hockey, but I also liked girly stuff and that duality of and so she literally kind of represented all that, and it showed me that it was okay, it was like, oh yeah, there's other people like me. Because kids, we like to categorize ourselves, and we're like, well, I'm this and I'm that. And people are like, what are you? And I'm like, I don't know.
Especially in the 90s, every movie and TV show, the kids were like in jocks and preppy girls and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Losers.
A day.
AC Slater.
AC Slater.
But yeah, she was my favorite character, and then it was 20 years later, 25. I think it was 20. They were doing we didn't know they were doing the redub. We knew that they were releasing Crystal, and I was like, oh man, that's gonna be so cool if Forever gets to do that. And little did I know that, because we had heard that it was gonna be dubbed in Texas, and so LA wasn't gonna get it. So we're like, oh okay, well that's cool. And then I got the audition, and I was like, what? But they didn't hide it very well, because they normally for top secret auditions or video games or any of that stuff where they want to keep it under wraps, they'll give you a code name. So a lot of times on games especially, you might be working on it for years and you don't know what the game actually is, and then it comes out. Yeah, it could be Project Butthole. And then it comes out and it's like Halo or something. You just don't know.
Coming to a jar near you.
Yeah.
Why does Halo sound like it would be called Project Butthole? Though? Like the logo and everything.
I don't know.
Project
Butthole.
Oh, God. But yeah, so come on, stay with it. What was it? It was Sailor Moon.
To be fair, I don't know neither.
Okay. As long as I'm not the only
Hey
one.
guys, y'all keep talking. I'm gonna go make some ramen. I'll be right back.
That sounds good. Make me sound.
You'll be like, what's going on?
So Sailor Jupiter, dubbing. Oh yeah, I got the audition, and he was like, "This is for a top secret show. We can't tell you what it is." But then all the audition sides, which are PDFs, which is just the audition copy that you read, they literally said the characters' names and the attacks, and it was Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Moon, I auditioned for all 5 of the girls and Luna and Queen Beryl.
Nice.
And the attacks were in there too. It's Jupiter Oak Evolution, and you're being the tallest girl in my class. It was literally everything. And I thought maybe they were using this to cover for another show or something. So they were, but no, they just, I guess, I don't know if they didn't care or if whoever, maybe they had an intern send out the sides or something. But I auditioned. I sent the audition files back, and I figured I wouldn't hear anything ever again. And I was just like, well, that was a cool opportunity. And then a month or 2 later, I was at a party, and at the party they were like, oh, did you guys hear about that audition? Everybody knows. It's we all say we're not supposed to talk about it, but then voice actors talk about it with each other.
All right.
It's called Friend DA instead of NDA. And then also you'll tell your close friends and family, the people who are I don't care, I'm not gonna tell them.
Right. Yeah.
They
can't even remember what it's Sailor what?
Yeah, you're great, Mom. Okay. Yeah. my secret's safe with you. If the government ever needs to.
So they're sailors?
Yeah, there's a show about the ocean.
Hey, you know how moms? Hey, look, you got the Xbox 360. She'll still call it a Sega Genesis.
I was gonna say my mom still calls it Pokemon. You know what I mean?
The Pokemon.
Oh, man, the Pokemon classic.
That's funny. Yeah, it'd be whenever the government finally comes for me, and they need to torture my parents for information. It'll be great because they don't remember anything.
That's right.
So I guess that's awful because I guess they'll just get tortured. But
I don't know what happened. I know that she was voicing sailors.
She was in something. I don't know. Oh, it was a show about maritime law. I think I don't know.
But she makes really good raptor noises.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody even cares that we're not on topic anymore. I don't remember.
They don't.
They tune in for a good time.
Yeah, they just tune in for. They tune in for a good time in the breadsticks. That's all they.
That's right, the breadsticks. Oh yeah, he ain't even got to the breadsticks.
What is that saying? It's I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Oh, that's kind of depressing. Actually,
that's
no, you're here for. I
feel like that goes hand in hand or something, right?
Yeah, it does, right?
Wait, what?
Huh?
Everybody's family?
Is that the saying? I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
I thought that was Applebee's.
Hang on, guys. I have to reset my teleprompter.
We're good in the neighborhood.
That would be incredible if Applebee's slogan was "You're here for a good time, not for a long time." It's like reminding you that you're gonna die someday, so enjoy it while it lasts. Come to Applebee's. We'll expedite it for you. We'll make
the best part is the Applebee's down the street just closed too. Like
no,
a while ago. So it's
when they were closing, did they play the Applebee's song?
Now, Applebee's song won't even out yet. We're gonna have to go. How's it go?
Go to Applebee's on a date night.
Oh nah.
Wait,
that's the reason they're closed, I guess.
When was the song released? What is the song?
The TikTok Applebee's.
You can call the Applebee's on a date night.
There it is.
He knows it.
This man ain't just a professional wrestler and podcaster.
Oh man! Voiceovers.
Not only is he scared of water bugs.
Hey, Olive Garden gonna come for me, man. We've been promoting them this entire time. And he was like, "You up here singing about Applebee's? You
told you not to mention."
But Olive Garden don't have a song though. They just got Ben Diesel standing in the commercial with the car talking about when you're here, your
family.
That's right.
Wait, they actually have been. That's brilliant marketing if that's true.
No, they don't.
We constantly have these brilliant ideas and nobody cares. Nobody cares.
They don't care yet, Trav.
You're like Cardi's marketing team. You guys
are trying, man. Hey, Trav been in her DMs trying to get her up here for years, and she.
Bro, I can see the commercial now. Her head pops out of the salad bowl, making all the weird noises. It'd be awesome.
Hell yeah! Oh Lord!
Oh man, I don't even know where we were, man.
Hey, Trav.
I know where we about to go. Is
same place.
But no, Sailor Jupiter, your mom, they don't know, and
all right, when
they were being tortured.
Something about torture.
Yeah, your mom got tortured. Hey, they was tickling her feet, and
she's like, "Don't hurt them. I sell those for photos.
Yeah,
they're my money makers."
Oh God. But I know, but you say you got the role and everything, and then now it's like you've been doing it for years now. The movie came out, it got kind of pushed back because of the pandemic and whatnot. And
God, I love that movie.
That movie was awesome,
so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
you did an awesome job. So Pinky's up.
Favorite line.
It was cool. It was interesting though because I feel like it seemed like it was a show.
It was, right? Yeah.
It seemed like it was just like. I don't know why they didn't just make it a show. I guess was it like a bigger?
It was like a long movie.
It didn't really save them money though, because it's like 4 hours, which is about like 8 episodes. So I was just curious if you guys know like what marketing, like if you're like, oh no, it's better to be a movie because blah blah blah. You can.
It's kind of like an OVA for real. Because it's like every Sailor Guardian had like their own part, and then it wrapped up, and then they just moved to the next.
They came together.
Yeah, they came together like a Tribe Called Quest.
That's right.
But Trav, what were you about to say? Go ahead, D.
No, I was just gonna mention the only thing I could think of if you're marketing a movie and it's a hot topic where people have to rent it, then it makes sense. But if it's just on a free stream,
it's only on a free stream over here.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. Oh, okay, then yeah.
Japan, it was in theaters.
Oh, then it makes sense to what they did then. You know what I'm saying? For the dollar value
that came out in Japan. Yeah, that's
right. It was the same with the new Gundam Wing movie. Like over here, Netflix purchased it, but over there in Japan, it was an actual theatrical.
Yeah, it makes sense what they did.
So
yeah, that makes sense because they're making money off more, I guess, if it's popular enough and people are going to see it or rent it. Yeah,
that's right.
All right, this seems way too serious. Can we get back to what we were doing before?
Yeah, no, I want I think it's really cool that you were kind of able to cross over into doing like actual American cartoons too, doing voicing Joe and Kid Cosmic, which I'm not caught up like these guys are.
That's why I'm surprised you even going this route, because I was going to bring that up.
No, we got him.
Because it's a good show. And
where did you leave off? So I don't.
And Trav's still in season 1.
Okay.
No. We watched season 2. Me and Zoe watched season 2.
It
was season 3 we haven't seen.
Season 3 packs a punch. So.
Hell yeah.
Great job, Joe. Yeah, it was a good show. Like we enjoyed it, like all 3 seasons, and I loved the development for all of the characters up there. It was one of those shows where it was like it was for kids and adults. It wasn't like your typical kids cartoon. You know what I'm saying?
It's like what we grew up with. I mean, I assume we're all probably around the same age, talking about the 90s and stuff.
Banks is 45, but yeah,
I'm 45. Trav is 22, and D is 13. So yeah.
Wait. At first, I was like, oh, okay, 26.
God. Wait a minute.
I think I am the youngest of the bunch, though.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are, which is crazy.
A stud right there, 32 years young.
Brown don't frown, black don't crack.
Yeah, brown don't frown. Let me write that down real quick.
Well, because I have to say it, because like I thought I was half black my whole life because my dad's black, but he's from Louisiana, so there's a lot of mixing going on in the lineage. And so when I took my ancestry test, said like, nah, homie, you like 30.
Nah, homie.
A third. I'm a third black, so that's why when I say black don't crack, people look at me like. So I'm like brown don't frown.
Brown don't frown. I like it.
That's a good one.
It's like that. It's like that episode when Uncle Ruckus found out that he was black. He couldn't believe it.
I still quote the Boondocks all the time, and
absolutely,
we do too.
Like even just random things like car. You know, like there's like the usher thing. And
how like, Tom was singing.
Funny.
Oh, hey, my favorite episode is the Booty War. Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen. I call you Chris Handsome. I watch your TV show all the time. You can tell them cameras and security come on in here. It don't make me no difference.
I'll tell you what, when I saw the clip from the real guy and the show that he was
like
on,
getting booty.
Bro, I was legit like, dude, that guy's scary. That guy's scary.
What real guy?
That guy... That skit is based off of a real guy from a jail show, like a jail reality television show. And that's where the joke came from. That guy was really like, not the Chris Handsome stuff, but
I'm going to say it, right? He said getting booty is more important than food and more important than water. And,
that's right.
And, okay, I did see that clip. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's that's one of the things I loved about the Boondocks, because it's kind of similar to South Park, where it's like, they take real world things that are going on.
This season of South Park's been wild.
Yeah.
I need to catch up because that's my kind of comedy. Like I'm like,
oh, absolutely,
make fun of everybody. I'm like, if people are being ridiculous, it needs to be made fun of.
Be careful.
Keep it light.
Careful when you say that, because they'll come after you.
Oh, I don't care anymore. Like
You're talking to Amanda C. Miller, ACM right now, okay?
I've become extremely problematic and I care less about it. I'm just like, you know what?
Hey, guys, this is the last episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
She stormed into San Diego Comic-Con, grabbed that microphone and said, "Butthole."
Hey, yo, quiet?
No problems.
Hey, next time I go to Walmart, I'm going to get on the loudspeaker and I'm going to say, butthole.
Hey, just to let everybody know, if you pick up the phone and hit #7, that's the PA.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Just throwing that out there, and you can do what you want with that information.
Well, I thought you was going to say something along the lines of, if you see these two dogs outside, I'm inside going hard. Bing bong. That's what I thought you were about to say.
Bing bong.
You're saying if I'm inside a store and I hit #7,
specifically
or
Walmart.
I
can't vouch for Kohl's or Target. I don't know Kohl's or Target.
Or Kmart.
It's probably the same.
But this will happen on Walmart. #7, #7, as the kids say.
But make sure, Amanda, when you do it, don't say your name. Like, come up with a fake name. You know.
So I just go in there and be like, "Hello, this is Amanda C. Miller." And
I was about to say you can just be
Rebel D. Just about this Rebel D.
I'll just throw one of your names.
Seymour.
And then I'm gonna be checking my DMs and be like, I don't know nobody at Walmart.
They gonna be coming for you, D.
Don't play on my phone, Walmart.
For the people, I don't know I think that was before we started recording or before something. Do they know? I don't know if the audience would know the context of.
Hey, they know now though.
Oh no, they do know the context of butthole. It's just a butthole.
It's like
the Halo symbol.
It's like my tag partner always says. He's just like, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one. So there you go.
That's not true though, because unfortunately, a good friend of mine's son was born without a butthole. So that is not true.
No.
Not everybody has a butthole.
Are you being serious?
They had to make him a butthole.
You being serious?
Yeah. And I know we're joking, and it is a sad story, but unfortunately,
why'd you peel it back?
He was born without a butthole.
Hey, hang on, cut. Banks, you gotta cut that part out, man.
Man,
it's gonna kill the mood. That's gonna kill the mood because that's not funny.
It's just like, opinions aren't like buttholes, is what I'm saying.
So you're saying be inclusive in the statement.
That's right. Opinions are like fingernails. We all got fingernails. We don't all got buttholes.
There's somebody out there who might not, though.
That's right.
Yeah, if there's somebody who doesn't have a butthole, then there's somebody out here who doesn't have eyelids, they don't have fingernails,
they don't have eyebrows.
Yeah, no feet, no toes,
no feet, no cell, no nothing.
So are you telling me that your friend's son, he was just like, I've always wanted to smell a fart? And your friend
now we take it. He's just sitting at the window looking up in the night sky. I've always wondered what it smelled like.
It's just subscribing
to Stephanie on her OnlyFans.
Somebody pitched that movie somewhere. They got shot down.
That's like the Disney's like reject pile. It's like
sings
a song to the stars about wishing he had a butthole and wishing he could sell his farts on the internet.
When you wish upon a butthole.
It's like your girl Maribel. She's still waiting on that gift. And
yeah, I was gonna say instead of like the shooting star, it's like the flying water bug goes by. You make a wish.
What is wrong?
Yo, what is wrong with you? Man. We were talking about Kid Cosmic.
Cosmic.
So I have a question about Kid Cosmic. So
me too.
I don't.
The third season came out. Me and D, we reviewed all of them. Whatnot. Trav, he joined us on the first one, and I loved the way that it wrapped up. It had a perfect ending. Now, do you think that it's a possibility that there may be another season and they could go somewhere else with it, or do you think that it's done?
I know that. I mean, we knew ahead of time, like before the show, like we knew there'd only be 3 seasons because Netflix with their animation might be a buzzkill for people, but most animated shows on Netflix, they already had a shelf life. So like, She-Ra or all these other shows, they already knew when they started they were only going to get 5 seasons or whatever. So like Netflix makes it seem like, I don't know, I hope I'm not, I don't think I signed
hang on, wait a minute. I
don't think I signed an NDA on this stuff, so, whatever.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, She-Ra's been over.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like
she's saying it's already predetermined.
People on the internet go, "Ooh, is this show getting another season?" So on camera, it's different. So on camera, I think those shows do tend to get like they see how it does. But animation, it takes so long to animate things that they kind of have to order things ahead of time. For Kid Cosmic, I think we were done.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up because we were doing another recording and me and Banks we followed it, reviewed all the seasons, and I was literally like, hey, the 3rd season comes out tomorrow. If I'm reading this right, and it came out quick. And what you're saying makes a lot of sense. That explains it.
That's why they're able to do it every 5-6 months. Like, ooh, look at.
Oh, Netflix doesn't come after you.
I feel like we kind of already talked about.
Star voice actress disappears.
Hey, they gonna be
only her feet were left behind.
I'm getting right off of social media. That's people.
But no, I know like we kind of talked about that with what was it, He-Man? Well, not He-Man, with Masters of the Universe.
Oh, yeah, Masters.
Yes.
Yeah, like it was already done, but they split it into 2 parts, and I'm sure it's the same thing with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. Like I'm pretty sure it's already done. We're just waiting for it.
Anyway, you can bring up Jags.
Hey, well, Amanda, she was in JoJo's Bizarre. Hey, she was in part 1, and you guys need to watch it. Yeah, she was in part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I will not. But you're amazing. No, continue, Miss Amanda. Miss Miller.
Were you about to beef about JoJo's?
Well, they don't like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
No, he takes shots at One Piece. Don't say that collection behind me. You, JoJo, Jotaro, Joestar. Which one we call?
He said, "I'm coming for you."
Yeah, he be shooting at One Piece, and I just be sitting here like this.
Because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is better than One Piece.
It's not.
It
makes you feel better.
We're gonna talk about it tomorrow. He's smiling now, y'all.
Well, hey, what was that, Amanda? Go ahead.
So if it makes you feel better, I haven't seen either. So maybe they're both trash.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
So you did. So you didn't watch it after you were up there?
No, I mean they don't really give you like DVDs or anything, and so if you don't have Crunchyroll or
that's interesting,
don't want to hunt things down, then so sometimes like that's why earlier when you're talking about like Danganronpa, like that's how I played the game.
Right.
I went and I watched some playthroughs, and now I've gotten back into gaming, and I remembered why I quit because I get very obsessive, like I like hyper focus on things. So I started playing The Sims again.
Hey.
I'm like, oh man, I forgot like how like I would stay. I'd play like 16 hours straight, and I'd be like, and then I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What day
Also,
is it?
that's why you've been scratching your neck. You're feeding for the Sims.
Oh my god! So I had a meltdown yesterday because one of my Sims, like, he died of old age. But like I wasn't ready for it, and it was Christmas. The family.
It was Christmas.
Why don't you?
What are we gonna do with these presents?
It was so
why don't you just put in the code to make them younger again? That's what I do.
Well,
she's not a cheater like you.
I used to do that like back in the day. What was it, Rosebud or over Motherload or whatever?
I can't remember.
Whoa! We don't talk about Rosebuds. You can say Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't say Bruno.
We don't talk about
Bruno.
No.
But
right. Yeah, like I used to play with cheats, but I'm like, this time I'm like, no,
I want to play for real.
Build up my money and whatever. And like, so it was just so sad because it was Christmas. The family was about to exchange gifts. He had just given his wife a kiss, given her his gift. The kids were excited to get theirs from dad. He had just made the Christmas dinner and he had set it down on the table. He goes in the shower and he gets out of the shower and suddenly everything freezes. And it says like, like it'll say like what they're about to do. And it says elderly demise.
At least he was clean.
And then you see Death come up.
You saw what happened to D just died just now.
I'm here.
Black, you go on the screen.
Carry on without me, my brothers.
But no,
it's me from the other side.
I wanted to piggyback off of that. I wanted to piggyback off of that because I remember when I used to play The Sims 2 back in the day, I would, you would do crazy stuff, but you wouldn't save the game. And I remember one time, like I had put the baby outside in the front yard. And child
made him a little like he put him next to the gnome ornaments outside.
Hey, child protective services came, right? And they were trying to get the baby, but I put a wall around the baby so they couldn't get they couldn't get the baby.
He put him in there with water bugs.
And then they just ended up leaving, and then the baby just stayed inside the wall.
Dude, the police said, F it.
Did
this is taking too long.
Come? The Grim Reaper never took the baby?
So I used to do this too with the vampires in The Sims 2. I would put them in the wall, and then when daytime would come, I would take the wall down and they would just die. Like
Blade came out the shadows.
Blade. The Sims, I agree with you. Like, you'll spend all day playing. I remember there was one time, my uncle, he was living with us, and he had like this brand new computer, and he went to work one day. It was a Saturday, and I installed The Sims up there. I downloaded all of the, anime characters
on your uncle's computer.
On my uncle's computer.
Always doing stinky stuff.
But now this is the crazy thing, because this was back in the days of dial-up. So I remember from 7 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. at night. It was just like my mom finally came home and she was just like, I've been calling all day. My uncle had been calling all day. And I got my ass whooped. And then my uncle, he deleted everything off of the computer.
These stories always end with him getting his ass whooped.
I was so pissed off because somebody had created because you had like the card game that you could play on The Sims, but somebody created it so you could play with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I was so hyped, and he deleted everything. And
hey, you know what your aunt said about that Illuminati?
Oh yeah, my aunt said that Yu-Gi-Oh was the devil. So I mean,
was the devil?
Back when I feel like back in like the early 2000s, everything was the devil.
Yeah,
Harry Potter was the devil. Family Guy.
Oh, don't talk about Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
I just
Harry Potter, definitely the devil.
He's finally now able to watch the movie. His mom gave him permission.
I just watched the first Harry Potter movie, and I still got to watch the second one. But I got a long list of movies that I got.
Can you imagine how old he's gonna be when he finishes that shit, Trav?
Yo, what's gonna happen is he's gonna get out the shower, ready to finish up Harry Potter.
He's gonna make Christmas dinner.
I'll say this: I'll be done watching Harry Potter before you'll be done watching One Piece. How about that?
That's negative because I'm current on it.
No, but I mean, like, I'll be finished. Like,
I'm on volume 96, bro.
They just announced the ending. It's happening.
What 10 years from now?
No, and when it comes out, I'm gonna be right over to his house to tell him what happened. Don't worry about it. I'll be right there.
With the mimic bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we were talking about. I was about to say JoJo, but we were talking about.
Of course,
Kid Cosmic. I know you got a Kid Cosmic question. Go ahead and ask it.
No, he didn't. It was me.
I didn't. Yeah, Trav. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's right, Trav. We stole it from you.
No, I want to ask. When you go and do something like that, like I've always been a huge Craig McCracken fan. Him and his wife. And did you get to like talk and meet with him or anything, or no? That's not even.
He was there. He was there during our records because back then I lived in LA. Because like I said, we finished recording probably like 2 years ago. So like that's the thing is like people are like, is it going to be renewed? I'm like, it is.
Spoiler alert.
You kind of have to just keep your mouth shut and be like,
buy my feet pics to find out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, subscribe.
Buy my farts, and I'll tell you my secrets. And I'll tell you Netflix insider info. I guess I could just charge them for the info and not have to fart, but I just enjoy it. You know,
and yeah, who doesn't?
Passion of mine.
Hey, just make sure you eat the baked beans.
A good Brussels sprout, you know.
I love Brussels sprouts.
Mm.
Back in the day in college, I had a boyfriend who, like, I don't know what it was, but it was like, I think it was spinach or some food he ate where literally every time he farted after eating it, I'm like, I need to break up with him. Like, they were that bad.
Dang, they were that.
You know what? I thought this was going a whole nother route. I thought
it was.
Like, yo, that smells good.
I thought she was gonna say that they smell. Okay, so look, real talk. Since we're talking about farts, right? I remember one time, like my cousin was playing Streets
My uncle was at work.
No, my cousin was playing Streets of Rage 2.
I love Streets of Rage 2. I have that game. Anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a classic. We love Streets of Rage, right? So he wouldn't let me play the game, so I went in his room and I farted.
My ass.
And
I'll show you.
You went while he was in the room?
While he was in the room playing, I went in there because he used to get so butthurt when I would beat him in Street Fighter. It was one time because Chun-Li's taunt, she would hop up and down and she would laugh, and I remember he was like, if Chun-Li laughs again, like, you're not gonna be able to play anymore. And so I couldn't play Street Fighter anymore. So he was playing Streets of Rage and I went in there and farted, and he was just like, I'm not even mad, your fart smells like a pork chop. And I was like, oh, okay.
He got your ass. He got you good. He
got you.
Counter.
On the inside, he's burning up though, but he's like, I'm not gonna let him win.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let him win this one.
I like it. It was great. I think was it D or something? Like somebody said, they're like, that's
my eyes aren't even watering.
you're like, that's the kind of guy he is. I just like the idea of Banks being the kind of guy who like, yeah, I'll fart to your face. That's
I thought he was gonna say he cracked the door and just seeped it in there. You know?
I just
locked him in there.
I just go in there.
Hey,
and do it.
Like, hey, Soldier Boy had kiss me through the phone. Banks be farting through the phone.
Fart through the phone.
He ran the pipe through the bottom of the door, like your boy the Riddler.
Nah, but that's cool about meeting Craig though, man. Because I've always been a fan of. I loved, Uncle Grandpa and Chowder and Regular Show and all that Cartoon Network stuff. So.
Oh, I was like, he didn't make any of those. But yeah,
hey, Amanda, you good? Because Trav was naming shows I don't think any of us have watched. So I mean, you're fine.
I've seen them. I just I don't think Craig did those. But you're right. Like the Cartoon Network, or like just or not. I mean, technically this isn't Cartoon Network either. But I know what you mean. Like that genre of shows where there's like, I say it's more like back from our days, like Dexter's Lab or like Johnny Bravo.
Right.
Where there was like that dual layer of like entertainment value where like a kid would enjoy it, and then there was jokes that was going over the kids' heads. And the parents
like Rocco.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
Rocco, I didn't like as a kid. I think the jokes. I think it was completely over my head. Like I don't know if there was enough for kids in that one. It was all for the adults there.
Yeah, I loved Rocco as a kid, but I had no idea. He was a phone sex operator, and they had all these innuendos. And I'm sure you did.
Yeah, Rocco was off the chain, bro.
This guy's over here on his uncle's laptop. I know.
Heifer's family. They were wolves.
What? Over here googling the Illuminati.
I mean, I was. You had to stay prepared, man.
But no, I'm a huge Naruto fan. Banks is a huge Naruto fan, and I don't know if Banks has seen Boruto, but we definitely gotta.
I've seen some episodes.
All right,
of Boruto.
Goodbye, everyone. It was nice.
See, Trav, you didn't even have to say that, man. It's just like you just throwing us under the bus, bro. Like, shit.
What do you mean?
Like, he didn't see it. No, I always tell people, well, it depends. If you like filler, then watch it. But I tell people skip like the first 60 episodes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that because
I told you that.
I mean, but sometimes I got to hear from somebody else because sometimes you'll say something and then.
Well, I watch them all because I'm invested. Like I've already watched 208 episodes of Naruto, 400 episodes of Shippuden. Like, F it. I've already watched 600 episodes. I might as well watch the 60 of filler.
And I guess if you watch that much Naruto, it is probably still fun, even if not much is happening. It's fun to see those characters as grown-ups now. So yeah, you probably don't want to miss any of that. But if you're just like, what's the story? I feel like it's just kind of like idols. And it's because it starts during a time where they're not during a war, so the stakes aren't as high. Sure. So it doesn't really hit the ground running. So you have them like delivering the mail, having shenanigans, and, and then suddenly
cats out of trees.
Yeah, it's like these like little like exams or like little tests. It establishes the characters a little bit, but like I really tell people like we're the movie arc. So we had the movie first. The movie basically is re-animated and retold around I think like episode 60 something. So it's the tuning
like they always do.
And it's in the show it's even better because like they reanimated the action sequences, so they're really awesome looking. Like they were cool in the movie, but in the anime you're like, wow, like they really, and then they get to expand on like character beats and all that stuff. So they really, it's just, I tell people that, and it's nice to see like at cons, like first people were like, no, I don't really like Boruto, or they're like, oh, I haven't really seen it, or I watched a little bit but I got bored. Now I'm having people who like pick back up because it like after the tuning exams you have all these cool arcs, and you have Kawaki, you have all these characters coming in, and things are getting more like, oh shoot, like things are about to go down. So now people are like really invested. So that's really cool to see that like it kind of was a, what is it? Not failure to launch, but like a delayed launch. I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. And I really appreciate you saying that because I literally just finished watching Shippuden. I think it was 2020 because I was
2020.
I finished watching it, and a lot of people were mad at me because for one, I waited so long to watch it, and then two, I skipped all the filler. And I'm just like, it's not my fault that you guys watched it when it was on,
right? And you had no bills to pay.
Yeah, so it's like
school and Naruto.
Yeah, so I just. I don't know the word I was trying to say, but I breezed through.
Well, I'm just saying you ain't pay your dues like I pay my dues.
I mean, but I looked at some of the filler and I'm just like, Naruto's fighting a robot, and then it's just
talk about the swing. I know you want to bring it up.
Oh, the swing! Like the swing had more screen time than 10. I'm just like, it was just crazy. So it's like I always wanted to check out Boruto, but at the time, like you just said, it was just nothing but filler. And I know a lot of fans would say that, it's not worth it. Like you should read the manga because the manga is better than the anime. But now that they're at a part where it's like the anime is jumping again, hopefully more people will tune into Boruto because it's really good now. And like, how has it been, working with the cast? Because, Boruto, it's pretty much Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Goku's son and all that stuff. So, like, how is it working with the original?
Do I get to be the Dragon Ball Z or am I the Dragon Ball?
You're the Dragon Ball Z.
Because I was saying, because I'm
Naruto is Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Naruto is Dragon Ball.
You're the Dragon Ball Z.
But Dragon Ball Z is more popular, so I feel like it's.
No, I wouldn't say all of that. Hold on, Ron.
Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? I really like that.
I like Dragon Ball more than Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, it is popular, but I feel like the story in Dragon Ball is a lot better. I mean, that's my opinion.
Everybody had a purpose in that. That's what it was.
Dragon Ball Z, I remember I'd like come back home after school and like sometimes I had soccer practice, so I'd miss like a couple days in a row and I'd come back and they're still charging up the same command.
That's right.
And then they missed. And then they were charging it up for another week, like
Spear bomb.
Dragon Ball, they got straight to the point. It's like they was fighting and then they would just move to the
bad guys and they gotta take them out. That's it.
AKA dinosaurs.
Hey, aliens, dinosaurs, whatever you put. The red ribbon robots.
What you want? We got them.
But
everything must go.
So how is it, working with the cast from the original series and, being on Boruto?
We don't actually record together, so the times we get to interact with each other is mostly at conventions, but it's really cool to be able to hear each other in the show. And like once you get comfortable enough with it, me and Steve Bloom and like a couple others are very big improvisers. So a lot of times, so like when they're playing anime for you before you record it, they'll play the preview in Japanese so you can see the emotion, you can see like how what the flaps, the mouth flaps we call them, but like the rhythm, like okay, like how do I say this line and to fit that pause or whatever. And then the second time you do it, they take the Japanese out, and that's when you record. So a lot of times during the preview, though, instead of like paying attention, I'm like watching the mouth and coming up with a line and being like, okay, yeah, this will work. And then like when we record, I'm always like, because like I don't want to ask permission later, be like, hey, can I do a silly line? Like I'm gonna do it first.
Can I do a silly line?
Yeah, because like they'll be like, no, we don't have time for that. So then I'll like always put like an inappropriate line in there, and it fits the mouth perfectly because I just watched it. And, like I just like try to do it to kill the director, but also because sometimes they'll keep them in there for the next actor,
right?
But not tell them. So they'll be recording their scene, they'll be watching the preview, and suddenly they're like, what the
what the butthole?
And you get to use one. You get one F word, so you could have used it right there. But now you can't.
You ruined it.
It feels like that feels like a lazy one. Like I really want it to.
Yeah, that PG-13 F word means something. Damn it!
You want to be like Wolverine in X-Men First Class.
Yes.
Just. I get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it sparingly.
That's right.
Because I'm usually in real life, I'm like always having to hold it in. I'm just like, oh, it just wants to be profanities all the time.
Yeah.
And now we can vomit everywhere.
Yeah, you got to keep it PG because the kids, they watching and whatnot. And
that's right. I got kids, man.
I got kids.
Also, it's like that's not my problem. No, I'm just kidding. But also, I know with YouTube, like I'm sure you guys probably always having to fight. Like it's just this arbitrary thing where it's like sometimes they demonetize things for no reason, and
Banks guy deal with that constantly.
We leave that up to Banks.
Yeah, I mean not all.
We stay in trouble with YouTube.
Yeah, because they be coming for us
every other week. Feel like
it's like we'll do a reaction video and they'll be like, no. It's like dang, like
because it's like copyrighted material.
But it's like somebody else did it too.
Yeah, somebody else did it and they're fine, but they like. It's just like you're not them though. Like,
yeah, it's like you don't bring.
You gotta get the followers up.
That's right. I get the followers.
Dude, is something else, man. Like it's also just the idea of like, I don't know. I can't monetize my videos, so it kind of makes me freer to say what I want because I'm banned from Google AdSense because I was bad like 12 years ago.
I mean, TikTok is where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
Sucks.
Like. People blow up on TikTok and like they get paid up.
You know what's crazy? You only have like 3 TikTok videos and you have like this huge following on TikTok.
Well, I posted one and I was like, the problem is like I get really excited about an idea and then I get distracted if you can't tell.
Right.
So like, I'm gonna make all these TikTok videos. I'm gonna make
Raptors.
Yeah, and then I'm like, wait, what's this other thing over here? Also, I was really overwhelmed by the attention. Because I'm used to like not having a ton of followers, and then suddenly it's like the comments kept rolling in and the people and then they want something from you and then I'm like so like whenever I feel like it's not like for fun when I feel like it's for somebody else I'm like well I don't want to do it anymore
you got to deal with guys like Banks trying to get you on their show and all this
show me your feet right now
right now if you pay or if you pay me sure what was I saying? I might get back on TikTok. I don't know because I
think you should do it. I think you should stream on Twitch too, because no, I really do. Because just do the just chatting. You're just awesome to talk to, funny.
But the thing is, my comedy when I'm not censoring myself is very much not something that the youngins will like.
I understand it. Yeah, because the kids.
The kids are like, that hurts my fifis. I'm like,
those damn 90s kids.
Yeah. It was just like Sailor Jupiter would never say that. Like, can you imagine if Boruto said that?
She did what with a soccer ball?
I'm very intrigued to see when they finally find my stuff, my secret comedy. If they're like, you betrayed us, you're
we gonna find it in the cloud.
We gonna find it. I'm gonna put it at the start of this video. But
you won't believe what she did.
I got two more questions for you, and then I'll pass it to Trav or D. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up was a show that you did called Ghost and Stuff Inc. And that was your baby and whatnot. And I love like the inspiration of it's like Ghostbusters meets The Office or stuff like that. Like I always think stuff like that is cool. So like, what was the inspiration on wanting to create this show, and will there ever be a season 2?
So the inspiration was kind of, because it was like 2015, 2016. Everybody's like, oh, if you're an actor, you got to make your own content because that's how you get out in the world. That's how Issa Rae made it. Like, so everybody was making her own web series. I didn't take anybody's advice because people were like, make it simple, make it easy to shoot, have it like 1 or 2 people, keep it in one space. I'm like, no, I'm going to make a TV show. Because I love Parks and Rec so much. I'm like, I'm going to make something like the show I love. So like, of course, I had like different locations. I had a bunch of actors and a bunch of... it ended up being fun. Like, I'm proud of the product. But yeah, it got overwhelming because I was doing it all myself. I was doing like all of this, paying for it all myself, paying for the crew, editing everything, being the craft service person, acting in it, writing. Like, it got overwhelming. And then I had a falling out with one of the people. And then, so yeah, if there is ever going to be more of the show, like I had a whole, season or 2 written, but I like ran out of money and I also ran out of energy. And then we all kind of moved to the 4 corners of the earth. But yeah, if I was to do it, it would be like if somebody was like, hey, here's money, do it right. Then I'd do it.
Well, we're going to get people on the phone. We're going to make this thing happen.
We're going to hit up Olive Garden.
Because it's a really fun, because I like shows that have like comedy, but heart, like Parks and Rec. Like what I liked is that, what everybody liked was that, or The Office or any of these shows, is they don't really care about the job. They could be sanitation workers, they could be whatever. It's the relationships with the people and like their chosen family.
Yeah. Like and Superstore.
Yeah, that's what we like seeing. So I really like shows like that where it's really funny, but also everybody loves each other.
Right.
But yeah, I'd love to do. I have so many like ideas I want to make. It's just money. Like if you want to do it right, you got to be able to pay crew. You can't just. You're not in your 20s anymore where you can like, hey, can you do me a favor and I'll buy you Del Taco?
Yeah, I'll give you some pizza.
Yeah. I'm not a film student anymore.
Yeah, like when you want to work with professional DPs and cinematographers and sound people. If they're good, they're probably already working and they're probably making like, $1,000 a day or whatever. So like you have to be able to compete with that or accept that if you're not going to pay them, they could bail at the last minute. So I have like some movie ideas, couple TV show ideas that I've written. So maybe if I get a big enough following, then maybe I can tap them for money and be like, hey, help me fund my crap.
Hey, you can always sell the feet pics.
You know what? That would be the Hollywood like dream story, like rags to riches. It's like she funded her first feature film by selling pictures of her feet on the internet.
From feet to fame, right there. I can see it right now.
The Amanda Miller story.
Hell yeah.
So my final question for you is, because this is International Women's Month, I want to know, who is your favorite woman in pop culture? It can be anybody from anime, TV, movies. It's
always hard because like whenever it's too broad, then my brain can't think. It's like when people are like, what's your favorite music? I'm like, I don't know. What's music? I don't remember anything anymore. Favorite woman. I'm thinking like, I know a lot of people would say like, my mom. That's not true.
Whoa, easy now. I'll go dark on it.
Sounded like muscle man.
As we watched her being tortured, dangled by her toenails.
My mother, you're torturing my mother. Take her. She means nothing.
Have her.
You gotta have to do better than that.
They're like, we have your mother. I'm like, great, cool.
Call me when you have someone else.
She just got her citizenship yesterday. She waited 40 years, but she got it.
Wow, that's crazy.
She finally like was like, all right, I guess I'll do it.
I guess so.
So for a long time, we'd always joke with her and make these awful jokes about how we're gonna like have her deported back to France whenever like she was.
You won't let me go to this party, Mom.
Hey, good thing that never happened, because can you imagine if you joked about it and then she got deported, and it's just like, dang, I sent my mom back to France.
What did I tell you about making scrambled eggs?
I'd still find it funny.
I'll be back.
I like them sunny side up, Mom.
You're gonna pay for this.
No, I don't have to worry. She doesn't wash my stuff anyway.
Oh, man.
No, I love her, but people are gonna be like,
she's gonna watch this interview, but like, I can't.
She'll be like, you know what? Today's the day to start. Tortured.
You're watching.
Favorite woman. I don't want to be basic and just be like an actor. because I don't actually know them. So I'm like, I was gonna say like, I really like Meryl Streep, but that's the most basic of basic actor.
Just feel like when I was 5, I had this school bus driver. She was the best.
Ooh, she was tight. I have a my friend, everything, whatever. So I went to this treatment center back in 2020, and it was like, for like PTSD, all that stuff. And I met the coolest person in the world, and her name's James, and she's got the best laugh in the world. And I love her so much because she's been through the worst story I've ever heard. There's no reason for her to laugh again.
Right.
But when she laughs, like she laughs all the time generously, and just like deep belly laughs that kind of are contagious and make you laugh. So we were only there together like a month, but it just felt like we both kind of got to relive our childhoods, but like fun, like if we were in school together, because we were the class clown. We got kicked out of art class because we couldn't stop laughing. Like we were laughing so hard we cried because I was laughing about something, because there's these things on there's like trikes, they call them. So they're bikes, like grown-ass bikes. But they have like a little, three
They're
wheels.
Stationary.
Yeah. Well, no, they have like the 3 wheels, and they had a basket in the back. Those were the ones you wanted. Nobody wanted bikes at this place because like you had to get around a group and all that. And if you want to be able to bounce from group to like go get like food at the cafeteria.
Now, were they tandem bikes?
No, they were just trikes,
okay.
and they had like the wheel in the front and then the 2 in the back. And you wanted the basket because if you had to bring your laundry to
the big wheels.
The big wheels, basically. And so one day I was like riding my bike to group, and I was late, and I was like shoving a tot, like I was grabbing
shoving a tot,
shoving a tot,
throwing it up, catching it.
And I remember I started laughing because I was thinking about something else. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna choke on this because I can't stop. It's like halfway down my throat, and I'm like, don't, like it's gonna go. This is how I'm gonna die.
This is it.
This is gonna be so on brand. Like, how did Amanda die? It's like she choked to death
The
on a tater tot while riding a tricycle. But the thing I was laughing about, this shows you my sense of humor. Somebody at the treatment center was going around cutting people's brake lines on their bikes.
Good Lord.
No.
They did that on Hey Arnold.
Oh gosh. Really?
Remember? Eugene?
Oh yeah, he was going down the hill.
They cut his brake lines and he went down the hill and he slammed into the car.
That's pretty much like what I was envisioning. I was just like, you know what? I'm just imagining people being here like shell shocked from whatever trauma they've been through. And they're like, I'm in a safe place.
It's happening again.
I'm fine. I'm like, you know what? I can let my guard down. I'm finally safe.
That's how I feel when water bugs aren't around. So I understand.
And they re-traumatize you every time. It was so funny to me, the idea of somebody who's like, oh, okay, I'm finally safe. Talk to my therapist. Today's going to be the best day, the first day of the rest of my life. And they hop on their bike and they break every bone in their body. So I started laughing. Like I couldn't stop laughing at that thought of just like the dark, like the nihilism.
And then the karma got you.
And then thankfully I was not one of the ones that was hit. But when I got to art class or art therapy, James is sitting there and I started telling James the story, and then James couldn't stop laughing. So we're both sitting there laughing so hard we cry. And the art teacher was just like, "Can you please get out?" So anyway, James was need you to leave. James was like my class clown buddy, because in school I was never a class clown, but I always wanted to be. But I was like, I want to be like.
You get to relive those dreams.
Yeah, and so James is kind of like, I call her my childhood friend, but I don't know. Anyway, so she's incredible, and there's some good things in her life happening now. There's some really bad things in her life happening now.
Okay, so you're still in contact with her.
Yeah.
Shout out to James.
Awesome.
Shout out to James.
Yeah. Shout out to James.
And shout out to the brakes that work on the
put
bike.
The pinkies up for James.
That's right.
Yes.
There you go. Yes.
No, James is incredible. And
James.
You might hear about her story in a couple years, because it'll probably be big news whenever the situation's handled. But it's
right.
Yeah. And I'll be like, yeah, that's my friend.
I told the story first. Right. You heard.
Yeah, I'll be like,
I
was her friend before she was famous.
We'll just completely get rid of you in the title video, and we'll just be like, James.
Interview with friend of James.
Here's to the future.
Hey, it'll be like that episode.
Find out
the
truth behind the brakes.
It'll be like that episode of Family Guy where Peter helped Joe get to the Olympics, and they just cut Peter out of everything. He did exist.
That'll be exactly. What if James was one going around cutting the brake lines? That would be an interesting twist for the bio.
It was me all along.
Yeah, and that's why she was laughing so hard, because she's like, this idiot doesn't know it was me.
I got
It
him.
was
Now it turns out she's working with Michael this whole time.
I know, hey, the song, Agatha all along would start playing, but it was James all along.
James.
All along.
But D, we're here towards the end of the interview.
Am I up, Captain?
Well, let me say one thing, D, before you take it away.
Okay,
go for
I
it,
just
bro.
want to say, I laughed so hard during this interview, and I love that you just keep it real constantly and you're yourself. And when I was looking at your website, I got to bring this up. First of all, your website is super fucking cool. Oh, I use the F word.
Trav,
I'm
you
sorry.
used it. You were supposed to use it, Trav. Come on.
I used it twice.
Oh
You
wait,
just didn't catch it.
I thought we each got one, so we only got one.
No, it's only one per
Oh,
episode.
it's only one. And
You waste.
Hey,
Mhm.
Trav,
I was about to say, it's like a Big
glass.
Daddy when he ruins the big surprise.
No, hey, it's not. It's like not another teen movie where the dude finally starts clapping and the one guy had to wait the entire movie to clap.
No, we'll do a reverse. We'll go back, and it's like I never even said it. But the other thing was you have a compilation like when the movies come out and be like they gave the best performance or whatever, and you got one that says I effing hate her, some rando on Twitter. And when I saw it, I belly laughed right here because that is just gold. That is gold, and I want everybody to know that
Some
this kind of person you are.
Well,
A rando on Twitter.
That makes me feel good because I literally just redid my website. I had the same one for like 10 years. It was kind of
No, the website looks amazing.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I did it myself on Squarespace, and I was like, all right, I hope this works. And I, kind of did my little video at the top, making me look cooler than I am. And so you were able to message me through the website. I think that's also because I don't check my Twitter DMs, but I didn't have a messaging function on my previous thing because I got too many weird messages. So this time I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll do it again.
I finally got through.
Nobody will go to the website. I'll put the message board up there.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh, he got me.
They've learned long enough. So far, it's only been actual stuff where it's like, hey, podcast interview. It's not like, show me your feet.
I am vengeance.
I am vengeance. I am the night. Show me your feet.
Swear to me.
Swear to me. Who are you? Vengeance.
Oh God. But now, is it
D?
D's turn, Trav?
Let's wrap this thing up. Let's take it home.
All
right,
thumbs up.
And nothing happened. Okay, so 2 wrap-up questions. First, let's go favorite 80s or 90s movie. Any genre. Well, let's narrow it down.
No,
I'm not gonna narrow it down. I gotta.
Okay. F you. We're not narrowing it down.
Yeah, I can't because it's my follow-up question. I don't want to know.
I mean, I'm probably gonna cheat a little bit, but 80s would definitely be Clue. That was my favorite.
That's a good movie, though.
That's my favorite. Yeah. Well, it's cheating because I was about to also say in the 90s, my favorite was. Actually, no, I was about to say Spice World, but it's actually The Mummy.
Oh, Spice.
Oh, I watched that last night.
I was about to say,
we love Brendan Fraser.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah,
we love when the water bugs get in the skin and start crawling all over.
The Mummy is also just such a fun, it's what a movie should be. It's got action. It's got
we watched that right after dinner.
It's just
Brendan
so
Fraser?
satisfying.
It's got it all. It's got romance. It's got comedy. It's got action. It's got story.
And the characters need each other. There's not one where it's I'm all perfect and you're an idiot or whatever.
I think it's a really good movie because it's kind of balanced. It's got those moments where anything else would be man, that's corny. But it's it works for the Mummy. Yeah. It's just the way they put it together.
You know what doesn't work? That Scorpion King CGI.
I was going to say Scorpion King
does not work.
Hey,
the Mummy 3.
A blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. So
it's come a long way.
The Rock has come a long way.
Yes, he has.
Just take it easy.
Well, I call him DJ. So
yeah, you call him
Dwayne. Question number 2.
Yes.
Question number 2. When you were growing up, was there anything that really spooked you, scared you, stuck with you? Horror movie, a theme song, some weird character off of a show. Go.
Yeah. So I had a weird thing about broken necks as a kid.
Ooh.
There was
now we know why. Is it broken?
Yeah, I'm just checking to make sure it's still in one piece.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm still here.
And I remember there was I had a Spider-Man poster near my bed, and it was from the Tobey Maguire movie. That's not even when I was a kid. I think that was in high school. But at night, he's like crawling, but at night it looked like somebody like
Yeah.
Like, I
Slender Man.
I eventually had to take it off my wall.
That's
but
so good.
Oh,
there was
God.
a book. It was like this, because I was raised religious. And we had all these like Christian horror books, So it's like, they're scary, but at the end, Jesus comes through. I don't know. I don't even remember what it was. But it was like there was, I think it was
Devil Worshippers.
Yes, it is.
I didn't even know Christian horror books was a thing.
Of course.
I don't even remember what the plot was because I think I got like a little bit in, and they showed a picture of this kid with a broken neck. I was like, because it's basically like I think it was.
You didn't know
like
Christian
Omen?
horror was so scary.
The curse of Abel Fry. I think if I look it up, I bet you I'm gonna find it.
Oh wow!
But it was some.
Fry?
I think it was
real?
like Abel.
It was like if you watch Harry Potter, your neck will break.
Yeah, you're just gonna, like,
Yeah.
Neckamus brokamus. That's a dumb spell.
I thought old girl's neck was gonna break when she said that Bruno told her fish would die the next day. She snapped her
Yeah,
neck.
bro, this is a real thing. The Hangman's Curse.
Oh my God, you found it!
Yeah.
And
That's
so
what
like
Trav does.
I remember I was reading it, and again, this wasn't when I was a kid. I think it was like 8th grade, but still, I opened it and there was a page, and like he's like, got his neck to the side, and I remember like I had to put a piece of paper over that page, and then I had to put it on the bookshelf, and then even then I knew it was there, and I wouldn't go near it in the hallway, so then my parents had to get rid of it.
That's so what. Honestly, this is a "Are You Afraid of the Dark" episode. If you read like the synopsis of it,
dope.
I'm gonna read the story centers around an apparently supernatural case taken by a family of investigators who make up the Virtus Project. About 70 years after the suicidal hanging of Abel Fry, a student at a high school who hanged himself after being unable to cope with the pressures of bullying, jocks from the school's football team begin to lose their sanity after seeing what they believe to be Abel's ghost.
What's the name of that one movie, The Gallows? You ever seen that? It's like a terrible. It's a terrible. I won't say it's terrible. Some people like it, but it's a. God, what do you call it? Like a found footage film.
Oh, okay.
About these kids, and they're supposed to be doing a play.
Bro, they made
him.
They adapted it into a movie, Hangman's Curse. It came out in 2003.
Book it.
I'm watching it this week.
I want to do a review.
Watch that
do a review episode on it. Like,
well, you got. Hey, if we do a review, you got to join us though.
I would. That would be funny.
Are you still scared of broken necks now?
I'm not as much, but I
like if a guy fell and broke his neck in front of you, would it freak you out?
Would you laugh?
I would.
Like somebody cut those brakes.
He'd be like, "What the hell? What the hell is this guy asking me?"
I definitely wouldn't help him. But
like, what if he stood up?
But you're a Sailor Scout.
What if his neck was going like this?
Oh no, I'm the worst. Like I've told my friends before, like Jeremy Lee, the voice actor of Sailor Venus, she'll tell you I leave her all the time. Like she was late for a flight once, and like she's like, "Am I gonna make it?" I was like, "Absolutely not. You are late." Like they're closing the door.
You are screwed.
And I told the flight attendant, I'm like, "This chick's not gonna make it. You can give the seat away." And then like as the door's closing, she just jumps in, and she's like, "You didn't believe in me." I was like, "I did not." Like I'm not the person who's like,
go.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I'm, in a zombie apocalypse, you're holding me back. Bye. Like, I'm
Later.
not.
But she'll remember that though. She's gonna be like, "You didn't wait for me. I'm not opening the door for you." And
I would expect nothing less. I am a rugged individualist. I'm like, I will not wait for you. You do not wait for me. You leave my ass behind.
You cut those brakes.
You cut those brakes.
Y'all are just despicable.
Oh my gosh, the Abel Fry thing. I'm like, I can't. But the fact that I remembered the whole name too, like it just literally seared itself into my head.
I see.
No,
you won't lie.
The best part about the movie is it's a $2 million movie that made $168,000.
Wow.
So what's
People,
it going?
hey,
It was a success.
It was a masterpiece then.
Hey, it was like what were the Kirk Cameron movies?
Left Behind.
Left Behind.
Holy crap, dude!
It's
got Douglas Smith from Percy Jackson.
What? Wow.
This is kind of exciting.
Yeah, we got to watch it now.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I wonder if it's on PureFlix. I bought my friend Timmy loves like really cheesy Christian movies. Like he's not Christian, but he just loves watching them.
I didn't even put that together. PureFlix.
Yeah, PureFlix. It's like Netflix for just Christian movies. And I got it to him for him for Christmas, and he said
that is incredible.
Is there one for satanic movies?
That would be
Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder. Hey, tell him to watch Bible Man because Bible Man said no one knew who I was until I put the mask on. Like
Bible Man. Oh my, there's so many. No, he's watched like deep cuts of these movies. He's like, oh yes, well this one's a little bit better than this one. I think the cinematography wasn't as good as this other Pureflix movies. I bet you it's on there. And when I tell him about this, he will 100% watch this.
Yeah, well,
I'm
watching
Christian movies
it,
are good though. I know it was one that had Mr. T in it, and I was just like, okay.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, who don't love Mr. T? I mean, but we are.
Who does Mr. T love though?
His mama.
His mom. That's right.
We are.
Unlike some of us.
He wouldn't let her get tortured by the CIA like I would. Like I said, I leave people behind. I'm like, listen, got to keep up.
Your
Don't
mom,
get your ass caught by the CIA.
she would be sad if you left her behind.
I mean, my mom's a tough chick. I don't think
she knows.
She wouldn't get
she
caught by
knows
the
now.
She wouldn't get caught by the CIA. She always said if in a zombie situation, she always said she'd push my dad in front of her. She's like, take him. Like,
Oh,
so,
kind of like Banks
Dang.
walking through the horror walkthroughs.
It's just like,
Okay.
It's like you'll be like, take my mom, and she'll be like, take my husband. And
yeah,
that's
it's just
it.
like that's where I got
That's
it
it
from. I got it honestly.
But yeah, we're at the end of the episode. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us up here. You were
Absolutely.
awesome. Like
Thank
Trav
you,
said,
guys.
you kept it real, and Dave Chappelle would say, well, keeping it real goes wrong, but this time it went right. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Before
you.
we let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Like I said, I'm very bad at posting on social media, so I'll post in a little burst and then I won't post for a year. So have fun with that.
That
But,
is true. That is true. Because I remember like you were constantly posting on Instagram at one point, and then you were just ghosts.
Yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
So I like to keep people on their toes. But yeah, so you can find me at Amanda C. Miller VO on Instagram and TikTok. I swear I will at some point go back to posting on there. I just been busy. And then I'm Amanda_Celine on Twitter because I guess I could change to Amanda C. Miller VO now. But Amanda Celine Miller wouldn't fit on Twitter. It's like one letter too long. What else am I
That's
on?
whack.
It is whack. That's my
That's fair.
name.
That's my. This is
There's-
BS.
Like,
This is
what?
BS. This is
Yeah.
racist or against
We're going on
people
strike.
with long names.
Call it good.
I'm just saying, like, there's probably people like long names, like Indian names tend to be a lot longer, or
That's
American
right.
names. I'm just saying, like,
And they must not know brown don't frown. So this is BS right here.
yeah, this is
All
BS.
right.
I don't know. See, I'm already getting. When you said Dave Chappelle, I'm like, oh, I'll join him soon. We'll both be in Cancel Land together. We'll you can light a candle in honor of us. I don't know what I was talking about. Instagram, TikTok,
all
Yeah,
your
Instagram,
social media.
TikTok,
I think that was
Twitter.
it.
I was gonna say I feel like-
MySpace.
And the website.
Facebook, MySpace, GeoCities, Angel Fire,
Ask G.
Live Journal. Yeah, Ask
Hell
Jeeves.
Right. And AmandaCMiller.com.
Oh yeah, AmandaCMiller.com. Yeah, go there because that'll have all of my social media there. It'll also have. Eventually, I might start offering classes. Right now, I just do one-on-one coaching with
Nice.
people with acting experience. But it'd be fun to do a class. But the problem is, this is how I am. So it's like I need to be able to
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
listen and
Yeah.
be, and be like, that was great. Try it again with blah, 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 as opposed to being like, oh, that reminds me of this story where the guy was cutting people's brake lines and then they broke every bone in their body. It was really funny.
Okay.
It's like an Aussie stand up.
Somebody will choose a line where it's like they're reading about feet, and then it's just like it'll just be an hour-long discussion about feet. And it's
Have you
like,
guys ever thought about sewing your feet online?
I'm like, guys, if voice acting doesn't work out because I'm a crappy teacher, you always got feet.
You always got feet.
Always
That's
got
what-
feet. I love
You always
it. Hey, that's a good quote to end the
Good
episode.
button.
Always got feet.
Always got feet.
Jesus.
So, hey, Trav, tell everybody where they can
That's
find
right.
you at.
Man, I am on the Instagram at ZK Audio. I'm on the Twitter at TRAVIOSZK, where I'm also on Letterboxd ranking and rating my favorite movies that I'm watching. And you know damn well I'm going to be ranking Hangman's Curse, right? Is that what it was called? Hangman's Curse. It is
Hangman,
coming.
The Bible.
That's
Bible
right.
2.
Uh-huh. And D, who backing me up, man?
Hey man, me first and foremost, Miss Miller. Take these. Only use them if you need them.
Thank
And you can find me at rebellious_D23 Instagram.com. And Banks, if they need a hero, where can they find one?
They can find me.
What
your
are
hero
you
Benjamin
grabbing
Banks.
exactly?
I was about to
I
hand
was
him the mic and say,
well, he was
"Only a
lifting
hero."
up his hand, and I was grabbing it through the camera. I mean, that's what they do in animes, right? Like in the anime intro, you always see them reaching out for stuff.
And then it pans over to Banks.
And then they go back. Like in the Bleach intro, it pulls them apart.
Or they're falling down, or it's something
crazy.
There's shirts off, there's glitter, like there's some sort of
there's always glitter.
They necks get broke. You don't know what's about to happen.
You see the feet hanging, but you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at King Benji _Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you all for watching this interview with Amanda Celine Miller. Make sure that you go and follow all of her social media accounts, and make sure you follow the TikTok and whatnot, and make some raptor noises, slide in the DMs. And like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.